Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and there are two things that I want to address before I talk about the Buccaneers regular season schedule for the 2018 to 2019 season. The first thing that I want to talk about is the injuries that were suffered by starting right tackle DeMar Dodson, as well as starting left outside linebacker Kendall Beckwith. Both of these injuries are very unfortunate, and they might keep both Dodson and Beckwith out for the start of the regular season. It is very unfortunate, and I wish them both a speedy recovery. Two very big blows to this team, especially DeMar Dodson, considering he's a big part of the offensive line in my mind. He is our best offensive lineman, and it is very unfortunate to see him go down. Same with Kendall Beckwith. He was a very promising rookie last year, and he was definitely on the rise, and now he fractured his ankle in a freak car accident, so I wish them both nothing but the fastest of recoveries. And the second thing that I want to talk about is this, guys, okay? The Buccaneers can win any single one of these games. I know sometimes it's in our nature to panic and to be a little bit pessimistic about things sometimes, but let me tell you guys, the Bucs can, and they do have the ability to win any single one of these games, okay? I promise you they have that ability, okay? They're a professional NFL team, and they can play against other professional NFL teams and win. Please never think that they just flat out might not even have a chance of winning a game. I understand if you think that their chances might not be that good, but never think it is certain that they will lose a game, because that's pretty much impossible. Never think that something will or won't happen for sure, because the NFL is a wild place and anything can happen, and I've learned that lesson many times. Now, with all of that being said, let's talk about the Buccaneers regular season schedule. I have it to my left, and it goes to my right, and it goes as follows, okay? It starts out week 1 at the New Orleans Saints, an away game, and then we have a home game against the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. After that, we have a Monday Night Football game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is also a home game. That's actually pretty cool. I might actually end up going to that game. After that, we have an away game at the Chicago Bears, followed by a bye week in week 5. After that, it's week 6, and it is another away game at the Atlanta Falcons, which is then followed by week 7, a home game against the Cleveland Browns. After that, we have 2 away games in week 8 and in week 9, one against the Cincinnati Bengals and one against the Carolina Panthers. After that, it's a home game versus the Washington Redskins, then an away game versus the New York Giants, followed by 3 home games against the San Francisco 49ers, the Carolina Panthers, and the New Orleans Saints. That is then followed by 2 away games against the Baltimore Ravens and the Dallas Cowboys, and we finished the year with a home game against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, there's a couple of things here, and you can see all the broadcasting things that are going to be put up. Shout out to Bucs Commission or something like that. I can't remember the Twitter handle, but shout out to them, and shout out to Greg Allman for giving out all this information about the Buccaneers schedule. They are legends. But a couple of things here, okay? The first thing is this: the Buccaneers only have one primetime game, and it is on Monday Night Football versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. And to be honest, I kind of like that. Last year, the Buccaneers were thrown into a lot of primetime games, and I feel like that was kind of embarrassing at some points, considering they did lose a lot of games. I'm not saying they wouldn't lose if they played in primetime this year. I'm saying it takes off a little bit of that pressure of playing in the primetime scene. You know, there's a lot of media attention for primetime games. Players get kind of harassed a little bit more, and it's kind of harder to prepare with all that media buzzing around you. So that's good. They'll have more time to just quietly prepare instead of having to deal with a media circus. I like that a lot. And the second thing is this, okay? There's no Thursday night games. That is awesome. That's awesome, okay? I could not be happier about having no Thursday night games. Quite honestly, I know a lot of players don't like Thursday night games. I like them because it means I could get football earlier, but that's just me being a selfish fan. Personally, I don't necessarily believe in Thursday night games, because, at least in the regular season, because it really can just get some guys hurt and get them underprepared, and it's just sloppy football 90% of the time. So I'm really happy that the Bucs are one of the 5 teams that do not have to participate in a Thursday night game. I think that means that they'll have obviously more time to prepare, especially on that Monday when they do play the Pittsburgh Steelers in prime time. However, every other game is going to be on a Sunday, which is great in my opinion. They'll have more time to prepare, and they'll just be on a nice regular schedule. You know, nothing crazy will be thrown at them that they'll have to like rush in. You know, they'll always have a Sunday at 1 p.m. to prepare for, which is good. That gives good consistency for the team. The next thing is this, and a lot of fans are worried about this, and some fans are calling this season already a wash based on these first couple of games, which is my next point that I want to make. Okay, the first 3 weeks are probably some of the toughest games, if not the toughest games for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. You started off with an at the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. Is it the Superdome? I can't remember. But the New Orleans Saints, obviously, they went all the way, not all the way, they made it to the divisional round of the playoffs last year. And then, you know, they're always a very good team. Drew Brees is phenomenal. The Saints are kind of on the upswing again, unfortunately, which sucks. I don't like to admit it, but it's kind of happening, so we do have to watch out for them. Next is the Super Bowl defending champion Philadelphia Eagles. That sucks, especially since it looks like they're going to have 10 days to prepare for us, considering they play on a Thursday to start off the year. I believe that's what it is. That sucks. However, I do think we can handle it. Obviously, the Philadelphia Eagles are not immortal, like not immortal, but they're not invincible. You can defeat them, as some teams did do last year. However, like I said, defending Super Bowl champions, and then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers, who again were a playoff team last year and were in the divisional round. So again, I'm not gonna lie, it's 3 tough games. You're playing 3 playoff teams to start off the year. 2 of those games are at home, however, and one of those games is away. To be honest, I do think the Bucs can compete. I do think the Bucs can compete with playoff teams. They can compete with any team. It just all depends on whether or not they want to show up and play and stuff like that, and just how things work out. I will say it is nice that we have the Steelers on Monday in prime time at home, because that'll give us more time to prepare for them and whatnot. It'll give us an extra day to get some stuff in. After that, though, a lot of people are criticizing the Bucs having a bye week on week 5, but honestly, I'm fine with the Bucs having a bye week on week 5 because it's better than having a bye week on week 1. Thanks, Hurricane Irma. But honestly, having that bye week on week 5 isn't that big a deal to me. Yes, it's early. We have the same bye week as the Chicago Bears. You know, we play them, then we both have a bye week. But to be honest, it doesn't really bother me that much. Not really. I guess you would prefer a break later on in the season, but I mean, there's, you know, we're playing what, 14 games in a row. That's better than 16 in a row. That sucks. But 14 games in a row, yeah, it kind of sucks. That is unfortunate. Probably you would want to throw in a later bye week there, but that's just unlucky for us, unfortunately. And then another thing that Bucs fans are pointing out, especially Greg Allman pointed out on Twitter, is that the Bucs have two of their home games are 27 days apart. So what I mean by that is this, okay? Week 1 is an away game, okay? The next 2 games are home, and then week 4 is an away game, okay? That is on September 30th. Okay, after that you have your bye week, and then you have an away game at the Atlanta Falcons. So that's 3 weeks that you aren't playing a home game. You have away game, bye week, away game. That's 3 weeks. That's 27 days, give or take, considering that the Chicago Bears game is on the 30th, and the next home game is against the Cleveland Browns on the 21st. So a lot of fans criticize that, but honestly, I don't think that's a big deal, and that's one of the reasons I like kind of having a bye week on week 5. I don't love having a bye week on week 5, but it's wedged in between 2 away games, and I like that a lot. The Buccaneers are only playing two or more away games twice this year, and you know, it's good. They're only playing 2 away games in a row twice. That's awesome, because you know, it goes away, bye week, so they get a rest after that away game, and then another away game, which some people say it sucks. I like it. It's better than last year when I think we had like 3 away games in a row. That sucked. And it is a little unfortunate that we do have 2 sets of 2 away games in a row, but it's not that big a deal to me. That's why I like that bye week, so we don't have 3 sets of 2 away games in a row. That would be awful, and it would probably make it wouldn't be good because it's a lot of traveling. With that bye week, it cuts that traveling down a little bit. And thankfully for the 2 sets of away games, or at least the first set where you have at Cincinnati in week 8 and then at Carolina in week 9, you don't have to travel that much for that second away game. You can kind of head home and then head up to North Carolina, thankfully, or wherever the Panthers are. I'm pretty sure it's North Carolina. I can't remember off the top of my head, but honestly, guys, I'm excited for this upcoming schedule. I don't think it's too hard. I would say that those first 3 weeks, yes, those are probably going to be our toughest games, but I think we can beat the Bears, the Falcons. Yeah, I think we can honestly beat all 3 of those teams that we play in the first 3 weeks. You know, I think we can beat the Saints. We've shown that we can beat the Saints away before. Come on now. We've shown that, well, we can beat the Eagles, especially since it's home. I like that we have the Steelers in prime time. Chicago. We whooped Chicago last year, guys. Come on now. I like that bye week in week 5 because it's kind of in between 2 away games. I like that a lot. Give the guys some rest from traveling before they have to travel again. It does suck that they do have to play 14 games in a row, though, like I said. Falcons, it's a winnable game. Cleveland Browns, yeah, Cleveland, you know, if we can beat Cleveland. Cincinnati, I'm not worried about. Carolina, I'm not really worried about. Redskins, I don't know if I'm worried about them. I'm probably not. Giants, I'm not worried about. 49ers, I think, are a very overrated team at this point. I think they're a very, I think they're just a money pit, man. I don't really care for the Garoppolo effect that much. I really don't. They are 5-0 last year, but I'm just not too impressed by them as much as the rest of the league is. Weirdly enough, you know, they're infatuated with the 49ers right now. They're basically calling it like a 49ers dynasty. They're basically acting like the 49ers dynasty's back. I don't believe that at all. I think they still have a lot of holes that they need to cover, specifically on defense, before they can make any type of playoff run. Maybe they win the West. I don't know, but I'm not worried about them. Still not worried about the Panthers. Saints, we get them at home. We've proven that we can play well against the Saints at home past couple of years. Ravens, not really worried about them. Cowboys, I am a little bit worried about, but I think we'll be fine. And then Falcons again, which, you know, again, I think all these games are winnable, guys. Don't think that any of these games are completely unwinnable, because they're not. The Bucs will always have a chance in all of these games, you know. Just never forget that, you know, man. Just try and be optimistic about some of these games. You know, there are some points that I like a lot. You know, Thursday night games. You know, that bye week in week 5 is kind of nice because it cuts down travel time. You know, and it's a nice schedule in my opinion. It's not too bad. I think it's very, very manageable. I think we can get some good wins out of there and overall have a pretty productive season. But let me know what you guys think about the Buccaneers 2018-2019 regular season schedule down in the comments section below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Again, let me know. And I'm going to be having an announcement video coming out soon, considering we are now, I believe, 6 days away from the draft. We are going to be I'm going to be making an announcement video about what I might be doing for the draft. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. And as always, I will see you in the next video. But until then, goodbye for now, guys. See ya.